this is the working part of the distillery.
Okay.
So that is $5 million worth of bourbon sitting right there.
Okay.
And this is our state of the art bottling line.
Okay.
And here we have a 600, 300, and 100 gallon still. Each
Nice.
of them are designed to produce different things and manage different things. Here's a better view of this is all 8-year-old bourbon.
Oh, wow.
So every one of those barrels produces about $40,000 worth of liquor.
Right. Nice.
And I'll give you a little bit of a peek into the event center. First, I'll bring you to the bar here.
Because we're looking to put a tour together. Like I said, I have a few artists that I deal with, I manage. We're looking to put a tour together.
So this is the bar.
Okay.
And then this is we operate like a liquor store as well, so you could purchase any of our products here. There's the Boosie Juice we were just speaking of.
Right.
This is our piano lounge.
Oh, wow. Is this in Carolina?
In Charleston, yep.
Oh, okay.
And then this is what we call Beer Alley here. So we just hang out and have trivia and games and cards, and there's video games set up. I might lose my Wi-Fi here. It'll come back.
So how did you get into bourbon?
That's a good question for a minute. This is the outside parking area and deck.
Nice.
And then this is the event center.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 24,000 square feet, 32-foot ceilings. We had this set up last night. We had salsa lessons here in this area. And we just kind of break out the areas for what we need. But once this is completed, it'll be all decked out to the nines. And we sit on the railroad tracks. So our cigar bar will be on the back with the train going by several times a day. It's pretty awesome. We have a killer green room. The studio will be in here. The cafe bar. And just, the place for the bands to be. And
right.
It'll be finished up and it'll look amazing.
It's already, the space alone makes it look great.
Yeah, I'm telling you, right now it's very industrial, obviously, but people convert it. I mean, when the lights go down and the disco lights are flashing and they just convert it into whatever they need it to be.
24,000 square feet. Wow.
Yep. And out there is our food truck.
Okay.
And we have a couple of RVs in the background there. We have a lot of RVs that come and spend the night with us.
Gotcha.
We are great harvest hosts. Harvesting those grains. So I figured we'd just sit down here and have a conversation.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I went and made a pixie drop.
Nice. You already told me to keep to it. Say one DreZey, keep it that pixie drop out. Get you where you want to be. Yes. So basically, what got you into bourbon? 4'10".
I say the grace of God, because honestly, that's what I believe leads you to everything.
Yeah. Yes.
But my career path was coming from Wall Street, financial planning, real estate development. And then I was asked to consult with a technology company on the purification of alcohol. And when I started looking at the industry, I thought I was just absolutely blown away by the inspiration actually within the spirits industry. And I looked at it from a financial perspective of the fact that a barrel of bourbon was appreciating at 400% a year, and no one was really looking at this as a true asset class. And I said, it's truly the only asymmetrical investment in the marketplace. The more that it evaporates and the less that you have to sell, the more valuable it becomes. And so there's really never a bad day. Like there's just not a bad bourbon. They're all such differentiating flavor perspectives and taste profiles, and the underlying grains can be differentiated, but the actual definition of a bourbon is that it has to be a minimum of 51% corn and then run through a new charred oak container, not actually even a barrel. Wow. So there's so much myth around the understanding of whiskeys and the definitions of bourbon. But the reality is as long as it's a minimum of 51% corn and went through a new charred oak container, not even a certain length of time is not even descriptive. So I was so fascinated about the myths, the legend, the untruths that were being propagated into commerce, and I was not a drinker at all. I mean, I got teased all the time because I put ice in my red wine. My tagline is, she drinks for a living, she just doesn't swallow. And so I moved to saying now, I drink the crappy spirits so you don't have to. I definitely drink for a living. But I'm just not a big consumer, but I have a very organoleptically sophisticated taste profile, a tongue palate that just can really tell what's good or not. And clearly that's working. We've won over 250 awards, beating the market leaders across the board in every category of spirits. Nice. So there I am, and I'm looking at these numbers, and I'm saying this is truly an asset class. And because I come from a financial planning and investment background, I bought my job, invested in the technology of that company, and then learned the ins and outs of building brands. And it weighed so heavy on my heart that millions and millions of dollars were being wasted as every brand took on the vanity of, I want to have my own liquor, and threw millions of dollars away because they couldn't navigate the space. Right. So I said, I'm going to create a incubator accelerator model that allows everybody to pool off each other's information, to share the resources of a bottling line, glass, development teams, marketing. And so instead of reinventing the wheel and wasting millions and millions of dollars, we could streamline people's passion and see if they could actually make a go of this in the marketplace. And that would really protect the investors who I come from, wanting to make sure that their investment dollars are not really wasted. So that's what we built. And then in the middle of all that, I had a dream. And in the dream, it was literally revealed to me to create the first philanthropic initiative in this space. We call it Sip and Share. And we give $2 a bottle back for every bottle that's purchased in conjunction with a fundraiser or community education program back to the consumer in exchange for their brand loyalty, so that we're really moving dollars into the marketplace around the consumption, the celebration of our beverages. And I feel like that is giving real meaning to let's drink responsibly. Yes. So that's where I live.
Man, I was going over your file. You do a lot. I mean, you're a CEO of a lot of things. You know what I mean? So
I file tax returns for 14 corporations, and I'm about to have my 15th.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know, like I said, we've been talking for a while, and I've seen, you know what I mean? We talked, and like the pageant and things like that. So tell us about the Pixie, what's the skirts?
Skirt Magazine.
Skirt Magazine.
Absolutely. So this podcast is Spiritually Speaking with Pixie Paula.
Yes.
And this is from the premise of our Skirt Magazine. And it is way more than a magazine. We've built off this entire dedicated platform called Skirt Smarts, where we're teaching financial literacy to women in business or just managing their home front. And then we launched the mini skirt to really target our younger ladies, because we have such a great asset base of tenured women who have such experience to share. And we noticed that through decades of me being in the space, the statistics about women moving into CEO positions of Fortune 500 companies and managing finances at high level are so slim.
Yes.
And so I felt that we really have to start targeting to our younger ladies to give them, just like with money, the miracle of compound interest, we need to give these women the chance to start learning, investing in themselves at a younger age, so that that compounding will pay off. It's just so hard to do in one lifetime. So that's the launch of the mini skirt. And Skirt Smarts is about bringing financial literacy to women. So the whole Skirt podcast, which we just got awarded, by the way, as number 48 of the top 100 women's podcasts. I'm really excited about that. Skirt is actually celebrating its 31st year this June as the first women's empowerment magazine. And it may seem like nothing, but if you go back 31 years ago and you're talking about women's empowerment and finance, and it was breaking cutting edge then, and it's still the same now.
Yes. I can definitely, because I just had my daughters help them start their own LLCs.
There you go. I mean? And now we're talking cryptocurrencies and Bitcoins, right? And NFTs and how to monetize Web3 and digital decentralization so that we can all earn off of each other's sharing and community building. Because we know that the marketplace is going to change over the next decade for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's already changing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, we definitely got to prepare for things like what's next. You know what I mean? That's what I try to teach my kids, what's next. Don't worry about who's running or who's this. That's what can you do? You know what I mean? Your world is the people around you.
Absolutely.
If you can touch one person outside that.
Absolutely. And it's teaching the skills of resiliency and being able to pivot in this marketplace. It's just changing. We really none of us can really identify what it's going to look like.
Right. We don't know. All we can do is keep pushing. You know what I mean? And like I told them, it's nothing. Just keep moving. All you can control is what you can control. And that's how we make it here.
And unfortunately or unfortunately, I'm in an industry which could be looked at as a vice industry. But through whatever economic times there are, people will consume. I am not an advocate of abuse.
Yes.
That's just the wrong way to do it. But I am an advocate about making a responsible difference in this multi-trillion-dollar marketplace.
But how does it feel to be a woman in a man-dominated field, though?
I feel like I've been there my whole life. Mm-hmm. I mean, even in birth, I gave birth to 6 boys and 3 girls. So I still am always surrounding myself with male domination. Right. I'm not sure what that means. I think I definitely identify as a driver personality. And I don't think that's so much identified with male or female. But in the reverse, because I am a driver, a lot of times men will feel very put off, threatened, or have to call me some names, or have to feel threatened by my forceful initiative. Now, if I was a guy, they would just think, that guy's badass. But because I'm a girl, sometimes I get a different label.
Yes, I can imagine. That's what made me ask it, because I mean,
it's challenging.
I see it. I see it being in corporations. I ran, a few restaurants, IHOPs. I had 4 under my belt as well. And I seen how they treated a lot of women that was trying to move up, and I was like, yeesh. You be surprised on how people are, So
it's disappointing because we're people first, right?
Yes.
Gender second, and anything to do with business, there's process and product last. Yes. And so how do we treat each other? I always say equal pay for equal work should really be a no-brainer. Like, it just doesn't make any sense, right?
Right.
If you can produce and you are recognized for your abilities, it shouldn't matter.
Right.
The hard part is, this is newer thinking. Back in the day, the woman did stay home.
Yeah.
But why? 200 years ago, the woman was more fragile. She was smaller. She would be eaten by the saber-toothed tiger back in the day, right? So the men did go out and do the hunting and gathering. All that is gone now. And so we don't have to stay home. But there was a long period of time when women did stay home. And so that opening, that acceptance into the marketplace definitely is giving pause to, can you do the job? Are you equally accepted? Are we equally yoked in these positions? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the statistics still show that men are getting paid more to do the same jobs that women are doing, and we're working even harder to prove ourselves. So I'm hoping that it changes soon. I do think with new technologies, decentralization, tokenization, the new world, men are not that familiar either.
Right.
It's a newer playing ground here because we have equalized the playing field.
Yeah.
No one knows what's going to happen, man or woman.
Right. I definitely agree with that. It's about you as a person and the network that you build. You know, that's why you build friendships with people. You know what I mean? Build networks so it can help you develop with what's going on today.
The one thing I caution is, don't stick your head in the sand. That's just the one thing. Like,
never run scared.
Not a strategy. You gotta get the education. You've got to. I'll do a plug for my book, Alphabet Soup with Pixie Paula, DreZey, the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of NFTs and other blockchain acronyms. You can put that up there later. But it's, don't stick your head in the sand. Get at least familiar with the terms that are out there so they're not threatening to you. You can feel comfortable. You can throw a few buzzwords around, and you're more likely to get an education about what does that mean as the technologies are moving so quickly.
Yes. So I seen, how did you get into the hip hop fraternity?
Okay, I'm a musician I started music lessons when I was 2 years old, sitting on an organ stand next to my grandfather taking music lessons. And I just always was in love with music. And I started lessons shortly thereafter with classical lessons, not just like, oh, learn to play or pick, like classic music theory.
Yes.
I hated it. But I'm so grateful now because it gave me really the true bass love understanding of all music genres.
Yes.
So I just happen to show up at the right parties at the right time, and I'm building a network of burgeoning hip hop music. Like, again, when hip hop was really moving into the forefront, I was just at the right place at the right time. Mm. And it's a small community and a small network, and all the way to Atlanta, New York, just that group just moving together into the space. And I don't know how it happened. I'm somehow attracting, Tiny and Boosie and Waka Flocka and Genuine, and I get asked to speak on World Star, to have a podcast. I get interviewed by Hip Hop Weekly. Next thing you know, they're making me the chairman of the board of the hip hop fraternity.
Yes.
And I'm just like showing up in the space. What am I doing? I'm educating. I'm inclusive. I'm including people in an opportunity to say, this is a big industry.
Yes.
Come with me and let me open the space for you to play. And that's how it all came to fruition.
I can agree because, like I said, you definitely reached out to us. You know what I mean? It's like you didn't forget about us. You know what I mean? Even in the situation that you were in, you still didn't forget about us, and I definitely appreciate that.
I am one of us.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. You know what I mean? So I've known about hip hop fraternity. We had a hip hop fraternity in Kentucky up here. We was doing some things up here, which you know, it was okay. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I know we can do a lot more.
We can do so much more.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So especially in our market up here, it's a a saturated. It's not a saturated market. Everybody's looking for the Midwest right now, and they're looking for the next big thing. Especially with the way entertainment has changed.
For
They're
sure.
looking for a different change now. We looking to take it back. We get off of all the derogatories and all of that, and take it back to what real music is about. So
Absolutely.
so
So I have this love and this passion for music. I started Pixie Records and Studios. Okay, so listen to this. I thought if I'm going to be putting on all these events, I'm going to be booking all of these artists to come in. I'm dealing with the same group of promoters, the same group of agents, the same group of attorneys, and everybody, starts to know each other. I'll have one attorney that's managing the Braxtons, the same as managing the Housewives of New York City or Housewives of
yeah,
Atlanta. So you get to know this group of people. And I thought, okay, when I'm doing the research on women in bourbon, which there's very little people in the space,
yes,
there was less women owned record companies than women owned bourbon companies. And I'm like, how's that even possible? Right? So
right,
I'm trying to put together this whole article on women owned record companies. And there were more articles on how there weren't any women owned record companies than there were record companies. And I said,
right,
okay, this is crazy. So I launched Pixie Records and Studios, and I said, I will launch the artist. I do not want traditional artist manager relationships. If I can get you a job, I'm going to present it to you. If we can launch a gig and you want to take it, and we'll work from there. You are
yeah,
free to be who you are. I don't want to control it. I don't want a piece of it. If you can have the advantage of a liquor sponsor or beverage company behind you, and that helps to accelerate and give you that halo of legitimacy in the
yes,
marketplace, then I'm all in for building your brand. And
yeah,
if you become famous and you bring that right back to the beverage platform, then we launch a successful brand.
yes.
So that's how I felt about it.
Yes, and that's a great way of doing it. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of the industry is more about self, not
Yes.
help building people, and that's what we build our brand on helping the people. You know what I mean? We definitely a unsigned, newly signed artist type of brand,
Yeah.
and hearing what you do is what, what I mean. I as a manager was looking for people to, what I mean, help with sponsorships, help with, what I mean, building some of these artists to make it happen. Like I'm like you, I don't want to be a traditional manager. You know what I mean? I want to manage you to a point to where a record label wants you. You go ahead and go and you do what you got to do, and just don't
Right.
forget it. You know what I mean? Come back, just don't forget. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all. That's just how we are. But like I
Well,
said,
just giving them a passion project and giving them a place to, participate in the beverage space should they want to.
yes, that like I said, the liquor part of it is definitely, in the bourbon and all of that, is definitely a great part of it, especially for an artist. Like you said,
Sure.
don't a lot of them don't have it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? They just started. You know what I mean? Look what it did for, what I mean, like puffies and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It took them to a whole different plateau. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
and
And
that's
there's
what it's
the
about.
opportunity for them to participate on a shared platform
Mhm.
with a revenue share of building up each other. Let these legendary legacy brands come together and create a community and a platform where they're all giving back. Hey, we could call it affiliate marketing, but I'm saying even
Nice.
bigger than that, all coming together to promote the build out of a brand, and let one launch go out with a limited edition, another artist come out with a limited edition. Let's take a song and build it around the next label that we're launching for a limited edition. We can
Hmm.
really have an open-ended incubator platform for delivering new products and experiences to the marketplace. The consumer today is less brand loyal, and they're looking for experiences, and they want to honor a commitment, a platform of community. So
Yeah.
we can do that together, Dre.
It sounds good to me. I'm ready. Like I said, I am so ready to do what we have to do. Like, hey, we just need to do the word, put it together, and let's make it happen.
Do the work.
Yes,
So,
yes.
moving forward with spiritually speaking with Pixie Paula, I would
Hmm.
love to get some great content on here, bring some guest artists on, even some, local. You have a lot of local people
Yes.
that can tell their story, right? It's about
Yes.
storytelling and sharing their story with the community and providing whatever inspiration or education that, they have to offer. It's great mentorship. It is, you don't even know how many people's lives you touch just by sharing your one little story. So I'm
Yes.
hoping that we can do that together.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it ain't no hope. It's done. It's done. That's something I know we should do. You know what I mean? We have the same kind of vision when it comes to what we're trying to present, especially in the
Absolutely.
entertainment. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely interested. I'm definitely willing to work with you. You know what I mean? Like I said, we just got to put it together, make it all sounds right, and get to moving.
And give hardcore content that's measurable and actionable. You were talking about your kids and getting their own LLCs.
Yes.
Teaching. What's the difference between an LLC, a C Corp, and an S Corp? What do
Yes.
I need to do to build my intellectual property so that 10 years from now, I have a business to actually sell? How do
Yes.
I coordinate things? How do I take advantage of tax savings? What's the proper structure? What record keeping do I need? But bringing this all in-house so that we're not just disseminating people out there as a free-for-all. Have inside, I offer the complete legal, the complete accounting, the complete experience, the content, the marketing, all turnkey within the Pixie Enterprises.
Nice. Nice. And you say one-stop shop.
One-stop shop. But they need that though, because
Yes.
you need somebody, you need your person, and you need somebody in there in your corner that doesn't just say, well, that one was supposed to do it. Well, go see that one. Well, what did your lawyer say? What did your accountant say? It's like, no, the buck stops here. We're all here. We're making the decisions. We're putting an action plan, and we're making everybody accountable.
Yes, that's where it's at. I definitely appreciate you coming on here with us. You know
Thank
what I
you
mean?
so
So
much.
tell people how to get in touch with the Pixie products.
Well, it's Pixie Paula
Brand.
Official on all the social platforms. The Striped Pig website, which is the stripedpigdistillery.com, is where you can go and order products and learn about our different libations, from vodkas and bourbons and gins and rums and whiskey. Bourbon whiskey is our specialty for sure. The Skirt website, you could go to skirt.com and look at any of our old issues. You could go to skirtsmarts.com and sign up to be part of our financial literacy Skirt Smart Sisterhood community. And that's where the real action is. You become part of a movement that is building content and coaching and consulting and community and having conversations that are real, and you're never left alone. So we love Skirt Smarts for sure. Our younger women would join the mini skirt program. And it's just so easy to get in touch with me. I'm available everywhere. I'm on all the socials. Just Google Pixie Paula and you're in.
Agree, she does. She's there. So I appreciate you tapping in with us. I appreciate you. Look forward to working with you. And hey, stay blessed.
I feel so blessed. Thank you for all that you're doing. Appreciate
No problem. Thank you. Talk to you later.
Okay, I'm going to say cheers.
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 I got water. I don't have
water.
I got water.
I have left water with lemonade rim. So
I heard you. I know I need to be there. All right. You have a good day.
Thanks, Trey.
Bye.